Fox 8 has uncovered a $27 million airport pump system paid for with taxpayer money may have never worked properly at all.
As chief investigative reporter Stephen Stock tells us, this finding comes as leaders at the airport investigate what caused its pumps to fail during Hurricane Francine.
Airport administrators ordered an investigation after they said 3 or 4 pumps there kept stopping and starting during Hurricane Francine. Kenner and Jefferson officials say that intermittent pumping contributed to neighborhood flooding. But an independent engineering expert tells us that this document shows that the 7-year-old pump system had apparently never been certified and apparently never properly tested pumping actual water.
Derek Ware took this video of water overflowing the banks of a canal near his Kenner home during Hurricane Francine last September.
My neighbor at the end of the block, the water was up to his waist. So he was standing up. It came about midway to the block right here.
Had you ever seen it like that before?
No, never seen it like that before.
The water came in the houses, and it was devastating.
Neither had Bishop Adam Allen just down the street at Glory of God Baptist Church. Some of his parishioners evacuated as the water rose.
Because they was close to the canal. People had to, their grandparents had to bring them out on a stretcher to try to get them out of this water.
Yes, the water has to go somewhere.
Kenner Mayor Michael Glazer said when the new airport terminal was constructed, there was a plan to handle major flooding events like Francine. He points to this 2015 Memorandum of Understanding between Kenner, Jefferson Parish, and the New Orleans Aviation Board, which oversees the airport. All 3 agencies agreeing that the airport would build a pumping station to handle runoff from the new terminal. Included in that agreement, this drawing that shows how the pumping station is supposed to work. It was designed to pump excess stormwater from a culvert and the nearby Butler Canal over a flood wall into wetlands. That excess water would eventually drain into Lake Pontchartrain.
And that's pretty much what it's designed to do. If it doesn't do that, the water that's running there is going to overflow and run into anywhere it can go, and it's going to be in our canals is where it's going to go, or in our business and residences.
So if it drains into your canals, you got to deal with it.
That's correct. If it overwhelms the system, yes, the only way it's going to go is into the streets and into the homes.
The first call that I got was at about 1 o'clock in the morning from the parish president. And she's like, Arita, we have a problem with the airport pumps.
Jefferson Parish Councilmember Arita Bohannon remembers the night Francine flooded her district.
It turns out later we learned that the pumps were just not operational.
Bohannon says a properly working pump system at the airport may have helped reduce flooding, despite more than 7 inches of rain that fell during the storm.
They might say, oh, it wouldn't have mattered. You got 7.7 inches. It wouldn't have made a difference. What would you say to them if they said that?
I would say you don't know that for sure.
Which is why Councilmember Bohannon, Mayor Glazer, Bishop Allen, and Derek Ware all reacted with anger and surprise when we showed them this. A report to the New Orleans Aviation Board as part of an investigation into why the pumps failed during Francine.
Furious.
That's concerning.
I'm angry.
If the pumps are not working, then how the water is going to exceed up out of here.
Eaton Electrical Engineering Services and Systems prepared the report 2 months after the storm. A report that raises questions about whether the pump system ever worked properly in the first place.
So we sent you this document from Eaton to the airport.
We asked independent electrical engineer and UNO Professor Kim Jovanovich to review the report. Jovanovich said the most significant part of the report states, quote, the system is not certified for warranty and never has been. In an email, airport spokesperson Aaron Burns disputes that, saying the pump was under warranty in 2017, but admits the warranty expired in 2018 and was never updated.
The document suggested that this system is not functioning.
Jovanovich says the report shows the pump system was never commissioned, never tested by pumping actual water. We asked the airport if the pumps were ever tested with water, and a spokesperson never responded directly.
Does it appear this pump is working?
So it would be easier to say it doesn't appear that the system is functioning well. If the end result is for pumping and the pumping is not working, then the pumping system clearly isn't functioning.
The airport refused to make anyone available to answer our questions. But in an email response, airport spokesperson Burns said that the pump station was designed solely to handle stormwater runoff at the airport. And she insisted the pumps have worked during storms. Because the airport refused an interview, we were unable to get more specific answers about the problems during Francine or what the airport says happens when the runoff from the airfield flows into the canals when the pumps don't work.
It's actually alarming that the system may have never worked.
Right here, page 4. Okay. The system is not certified for warranty and never has been.
I think someone should be held accountable. This is wrong.
The Eaton report also says the system had not been updated, that there were parts needed to be replaced, and critical software was obsolete. The airport spokesperson did not dispute any of those findings. All of this prompts expert Jovanovich to conclude that, in his opinion, at least in recent years, the system had not been fully tested and did not work properly.
It should be pumping water at its maximum amount of cubic feet per minute or whatever its rating is.
But this document from November 7th shows it hasn't.
That's right. The document suggests that there was no loaded test on the variable frequency drive.
So we don't even know if the motor works under load.
Under load, that's correct.
Pumping water. Which is what it's designed and meant to do.
And that's a very reasonable observation.
Yeah, I feel misled.
Councilmember Bohannon says the report shows the airport failed to properly and fully test its pump system. She says that may have left Kenner residents without a valuable tool to help drain the water, not just during Francine, but whenever heavy rains cause flooding.
Making them put the pump in was a fight. They didn't want to do it. We forced them to do it. And this is them saying, you can make me do it, but you don't have to make me make it work. And I don't care what you say.
Bohannon says this report and the fact she heard about it first from Fox 8 rather than the airport shows how little airport officials care about her constituents.
I'm not just incensed, like, my feelings are hurt. Like, we let you live here in our city. And I don't think we ask a lot. We deal with your traffic, we deal with your noise, we deal with the ongoing construction. So for you not to care at all about what happens to us hurts my feelings. It's unfair, it's wrong.
A spokesperson for Eaton confirms they did send this document to the airport back in November, but the spokesperson also told us that there have been updates to this document and that the matter remains under investigation, which is why she would not comment any further. Again, the airport would not answer our questions directly, but they did send us an email statement, and in that statement, a spokesperson did say that the failures that occurred during Hurricane Francine have been corrected, and there is now a manual override to turn on the pumps in the event of a future storm, something that apparently did not exist during Francine. I'm Stephen Stock, Fox 8 Local First.